I want you to be non-ADD by keeping on point. I'll blow it up if I can. Let's see. For everybody watching, this is how we start our podcast. We have to keep on task, on track.
Number one, I'm so old, I can't see that little tiny print.
You're like, can you put that in title format, please, so I can, read that? All right, guys. So, welcome back to Mommy Mia Media. Lindsay is actually going to be out next week, so we are recording today so we can get our episode out while she is enjoying the beach somewhere. Super jelly, because while you're going to the beach, I will be going back to work. So...
You know I can just take Amelia with me, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. That'd be fine. She wouldn't miss me at all. I guess they don't miss you at this age, though, is what I heard. So, so you do have your vacation coming up. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, gosh. I'm extremely excited for my vacation, but the stuff that goes into actually planning a vacation for your family is more work than I normally do anyway. So it's just so stressful right now. I am not only packing for a family of 4, because apparently I'm the only one that knows how to pack. Okay, they try to pack, but I'm so OCD that they're not packing it right.
It's not done your way.
Yeah,
so.
And it'll really bother me. And then stuff gets forgotten, and kids end up with less shorts or wearing the same outfit 13 times. So I just pack for him and call it a day. At least I don't have to do it for Ian. He just folds his stuff up and throws it in a bag. But
Are you one of those people who get mad when Ian tries to help clean the house because it's not done to your standard?
No, I used to be, but not now. I think it's more just I'm excited that he's helping with the house, because especially with the farm, it's he has always something he has to do outside. So when he is in the house, if he does the dishes, I'm I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm get a little turned on with the chores inside now.
You're hot and bothered,
I swear, I'm ooh, nothing sexier than watching my husband do some dishes.
Okay, kind of off topic, but that's how I ended up with my vacuum cleaner. So, I want to say it's a Hoover. No, it's...
Is this the one you
the
ordered,
Kirby. No, it's
from your door?
Yes. So I had a Kirby door-to-door salesman come to my apartment when I lived by myself. I was single at the time. And this guy shows up and is like, can I vacuum your floor? Because he was doing this sales pitch. And I'm like, this is so unfair.
You're yes.
Sold.
Come on in.
Because when it comes to Casey cleaning, it's I appreciate it, but I'm also it's not done to my standard. But he's like that with the dishes, though. Apparently I don't do the dishes correctly.
You're putting them in the dishwasher wrong.
I'm not washing them well enough, which I'm all the food, there's nothing on them. It's fine.
Well, I prefer to clean at different times than Ian, so that we're not over top of each other trying to clean, because he has a certain way of doing things and then I have a certain way. Mm-hmm. And so both of us are stubborn and set in our ways. So if I'm inside, then he'll go outside. But if I have something to do, I was packing the other day and he came in and did dishes, and I was just hold on a second.
And you're gotta catch myself.
Yes. But then we also have family coming to the house. Now that we live where we do and we have animals, we have to make sure that they're all taken care of. And so it's not you just can't, jump on a plane or get in the car and go somewhere. You have to account for all these other little lives we have. And
yeah, because you have the chickens, you have the dogs, your 3 dogs,
the cat. Yeah,
the cat.
We've got them all. But my aunt and uncle, they come in from out of town. And they actually have their vacation at our house. So
that's the way to do it.
Yes, but then then I'm trying to make sure that they have a relaxing vacation. So I want my house clean and organized, and the grass mowed and the weeds pulled. Because if not, then they're gonna feel obligated. they're like, and they're retired, so they're like, oh, there's weeds, let me pick these. And I'm like, you really don't have to do that, I promise.
My mom used to go crazy with cleaning. Like, we would have to wash the baseboards in our house, like crazy cleaning.
Yes.
So that's where my OCD comes from.
Yes.
I'm like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
I do love you.
Well, I've been laughing because I've been super motivated lately, just trying to get everything done. Like, I'm in vacation mode. I'm ready to go. And Ian's been working doubles, so he's getting up at 4 in the morning. And normally I wake up when he gets up, but I go back to sleep. Lately, I've just been getting up, and I think my kids think I'm crazy because I'm, like, in there loading the dishwasher and folding clothes. And
oh, the laundry's never ending.
The other day, I was organizing a closet because I had nowhere else to put the laundry, so my OCD went a little far. 4 o'clock in the morning. But I am ready. I'm in vacation mode. I'm trying so hard to just get things done so that way, as soon as we leave, we like to leave at like 2 o'clock in the morning so our kids sleep the whole time. It's a mom hack. If you didn't, do it.
Leave at night if possible.
We have quite a far drive ahead of us, and we choose to drive just so we can take all the stuff we want. And I'm like, why do we do this? But then we get in the car and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. The kids go from their bed straight to the car and fall back asleep, and then we get like a good 6-7 hours of uninterrupted, like no kids asking a million questions in the back seat.
Are we there yet?
Yeah, it makes it nice. And vacationing now that they're older is so much easier. I had this realization. This was back, I did a trip with my cousin. Ian had to work, so he was unable to come. And it was like my first vacation where I felt like I was actually on vacation though, now that the kids were older. You get to actually sit by the pool and your kids can like swim, and I was enjoying a drink. Whereas,
and they're old enough that you're like, they're not going to drown.
They're fine.
The older brother will save the younger one, or vice versa. Right?
I mean, I'm watching them the whole time, but I don't actually have to physically be in the pool with them. I'm not reapplying sunscreen every 10 minutes because they can do it themselves now. It's nice. They're like, you know, they're hungry. They go up to the tiki bar and get a snack, and it just makes it a lot easier. I'm like, oh, I can actually feel like I'm on vacation now.
That's something I didn't even consider because we're going to be going on a vacation in October. It's like, I didn't think of when we're going to the beach, we have to basically...
You're taking a baby now.
Yeah, you're taking a baby. And I did buy this cute little thing for those of you who haven't seen it. I saw this little hack on, I want to say TikTok, where you buy a little pool that has like a little shade thing, and you can put it in the sand, and you can fill it, like, you know, dig out a hole, fill it, and that way they can play in the water. I'm hoping that she can,
cool.
Yeah, we can do that with her. She might be a little young, but we'll see. But aside from that, we'll have to be thinking about when she's napping and getting her out the sun and things like that, which is okay. But I mean, we have been so accustomed to Nat, you know, being able to go
just do what
she wants.
Be self-sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, with adult supervision,
right?
But I mean, now we have a little one, and it's just going to be progressively more nerve-wracking as she gets older until she gets to that point, right? And even then, you still have those worries, but it's not as prevalent when they're a little bit older.
The other thing that I love about vacationing with my older kids is actually going to dinner now, because we're all foodies. And so instead of like breaking up fights at the dinner table or trying to keep like the young one entertained, we actually all sit down and we order different things, and like we get so much excitement out of ordering. Like, my kids are bougie too. Like, they're like, can we have lobster? Can we have shrimp? Can we have, like, Gabe wants filet?
Okay.
Like, as long as you order it correctly, you can order it.
I feel bad for anyone who has to date Natalie when she's older. Like, my kid is also bougie. She loves, if you ask her what she wants for her birthday dinner, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a medium steak. She actually stopped ordering from the kids menu like a year and a half, 2 years ago, because the deal was, fine, you can get a 6 ounce.
Yep.
And you can get it cooked how you want, because she did not like it well done. And I think it's because, like, when she had tried it when she was old enough, like, not she had my steak, which I get mine medium. So any guy who takes her out, it's going to be bad. She actually, I applaud her because she is one of those kids who will try various foods. So I'm hoping, they say that there's second kid syndrome where like your second one is like it could be complete opposite. Like she might be picky and be like, I only want chicken nuggets, but Natalie,
I think they all go through their phases.
I think so too, but Natalie is fearless. So even I haven't tried a raw oyster, and maybe I have, but not my forte. Yeah. Nat tried it, and when we had ordered them from the restaurant, they were huge. I mean, these things were ginormous oysters, and she took one, swallowed it, and I was like, I give you props. She did it for $20. I was like, all right.
Yeah. She's braver than I am.
I don't know. I'm like, consistency.
I just started not being so picky, like with food.
Really?
Yes. I used to hate seafood.
Oh my.
Couldn't do seafood. And then it was kind of my old boss, because we would go to these like dinners after work, or we would have client dinners. So we would go to different restaurants.
Yeah.
And she was one who always made me try new things. And I kind of appreciated that, because she was like, just try this, it's so good. And I tried so many different things that I would never even guess what the flavors were. And now it's like I go out and that's my favorite thing to do, is try something new. And Ian loves it because he's like, yeah, try whatever you want. But he's like, I don't want to try something I don't know what it is. And I'm better at just pointing at something and trying it.
No, I mean,
my kids will try everything though.
That's crazy. I don't think I knew that. I mean, but I'm happy that you don't have picky eaters. It makes it difficult when you do, I feel like, because
it does, it's expensive.
That's true.
I'm like, they don't eat off the kids menu anymore. Now we're a family of 4 eating 4 adult entrees, an appetizer, whatever drinks we get. I'm like, how did my parents afford this when I was younger? Like, I know things have gone up in price, but gosh, these kids really do eat you out of the house.
Well, you have boys too, so it's much different.
They eat like grown men.
Well, I mean, this one, I had to start actually switching her over to formula because, one, I talked to my doctor the other day because I didn't think that she's getting enough to eat. She was really fussy, and she said it's probably because of my depression medication, which I got anxiety just reading the directions, because I'm measuring it out so I can give her her first feeding. And it just tells you that you're supposed to put, for every 2 ounces, you have to put 1 unpacked scoop, which it's already really condensed and packed. So I'm like trying to like put some into the scoop, and I'm like, no, that's like too compressed. Let me like dump it out and like mix it up and like get like a fluffier, scoop.
You were thinking entirely way too much about this.
But then when I had Natalie, I swear up and down that you were supposed to warm the formula up.
Okay. Yes. I have been wondering the same exact thing, and it's driving me crazy.
Okay. So the reason I say that is because when I had Natalie, you warmed up the formula. I mean, and your breast milk, when you think about it, is, I guess, body temperature, so it'd be warmer than like room temperature. It has been driving me nuts, so I actually looked it up because you had mentioned that somebody has their baby drink it cold, right?
Yes, and I had never seen that before, and I'm like, apparently that's a thing, and I was just always taught like you have a bottle, you heat it up. And so I never like second guessed it. And then I'm like, wait, did it ever say on the instructions to heat it up, or have we all just been heating it up?
It literally, so when I read it, aside from the measurements, that was one thing that drove me nuts. But it says that you can warm it up, but not to use the microwave because it creates hot spots, which I'm like, that makes sense. But it's okay to give it to your baby cold. It's okay to give it to him warm. It's okay to give it to him room temperature, according to Google. And that's my problem. I look everything up on Google, but it's been driving me nuts. So how do you guys feed your kids? Because I'm thinking that this is like Lindsay said, a Mandela effect, because for me,
the bottles have always been warm.
They've always been warm. I feel like I was told some time that by giving them cold or like lukewarm, it upsets their tummy.
You know what? And if this is the case and it's been that you can serve your kid a bottle cold, do you know how many times I have like gone out of my way to find a creative solution for heating up a bottle, like at a restaurant, asking for a hot cup of water so I can put the bottle inside of it, standing at the sink for 2 minutes with it on hot water, letting the bottle roll under it,
boiling water,
putting it on the hood of my car when we were out one time because it was the only thing I had to heat the bottle. Like,
I just feel like I'm crazy these days, and
could I have just been giving my kid the bottle and not having to deal with all that? I'm gonna be irritated if I find that out.
I'm like, I feel like I'm crazy. So anybody who's out there, please, comment your story. Like, do you heat your stuff up to heat or not to heat? That is the question. Or do you give it to them just room temperature?
The great debate.
The great debate here. But I mean, and I feel really guilty. I'm not going to lie. Like, having to switch her to formula has been really upsetting for me.
She doesn't seem to mind, though, Mom.
She doesn't, but I also, worry, is she going to the bathroom enough? I feel like she's had a little bit more gas than usual. But with that, I think it's also just some of my depression and anxiety. So as I stated, I did have to up my dosage, but because of that, it's limiting my supply. That's why I actually had to switch her over to formula because she wasn't getting enough. Now I could have continued to breastfeed, but she is getting some of that through any medication that I'm taking. And I also feel bad for that. The things that go through your head, the anxiety and the depression behind that has been real. I'm not afraid or ashamed to ask for help when I need it, but I also have a pride factor. I don't want people to have to go out of their way for me. Yesterday was a little bit harder because she was up and down. They say that your kid's not supposed to sleep for, or be awake for so long, but they're not supposed to sleep so long. So it's finding that balance because she was awake for a couple hours yesterday and they're like, that's not usual. They could be overtired or they could be undertired. And I'm like, well, this is not helping with my anxiety, and I need to quit WebMDing myself.
You have to, because and that's the thing is we as moms, we will overthink everything, but a baby is really good at actually telling us what they need and showing us. If they're in pain, they're gonna let you know they're in pain. If they're hungry, they're gonna let you know they're hungry. If they're tired, they're gonna go to sleep. I think that a lot of it is just us trying to be perfect for our kids.
Well, and
making sure they're fully taken care of.
Like you said, cleaning the house, it is a chore once you're, I don't know how people do it when they have kids so close together or if they just let go of the house and home. Because I will be honest, I don't think I've done laundry, aside from hers. I need to do all my laundry so I can go back to the office here in a week. And I'm not going to lie, that is creating some, anxiety as well, being away from her and all the, finding childcare, finding somebody you trust or,
that never-ending to-do list.
That and then childcare, the added cost once we have her in a daycare it's crazy. I just am they don't pay some of the childcare workers very well.
Well, that's even I have worked in my career 16, 17 years. And I'll tell you, the best money I ever made, even considering that I topped out at my career, was being a nanny. And I'm just but that, now, that was ages ago. But kids are expensive. And
they
you
are.
pay a lot.
And you will pay for your kid.
When you see what that actually is a year, though, and it's coming out of your, base salary, it's that's a huge hit.
Well, and again, if you have two, I can't imagine what the cost is. You know what I mean? You're literally spending, the cost of a mortgage, and if not more. I just have a lot of anxiety going back to work and caring for the family, right? So I'm I gotta get the house clean because, like you said, you like to come home to a clean house. Yeah. So
also
I'm
helps with anxiety.
It does help with my anxiety because if you go into my room right now, it's clothes are everywhere. I have to take the trash out. I clean with my ADD, I will clean certain areas, and I have to do it in phases. I start with one area and I'll put anything that needs to go outside that area on one table, and finish cleaning that area and then move the stuff where it needs to go, because otherwise it's like, oh, this needs to go to the laundry room. So you go to the laundry room to drop it off, and then you're like, oh, this needs to be thrown away. So you put in the trash, and the trash needs taken out, and then you take that out and forget what you're doing. So you start on another thing, and before you know it, you've done all these little things, but not one
in
specific
multiple
area.
rooms.
So that is...
Never feeling like you actually accomplished anything, but really, there's a lot of little things done.
Hey, you gotta... It's the little things. Applaud the little things.
Yeah. Or you could be like me the other day, loading the dishwasher, and then realize that, like, the Tupperware drawer was all out of whack and things are falling out. So I'm like, oh, let me take this, brief pause.
Right. 2 hours later.
To totally redo every cabinet I have while the dishwasher still sat open.
Oh my goodness. No, but I mean, I just have been feeling guilty because I feel guilty for not being able to breastfeed for her. I feel guilty, to my oldest, because I feel like I haven't been doing the best. And like you said in the last episode, behind every kid there's a mom wondering, if they're screwing them up or, But, I mean, you do have those doubts. But with that, I've been trying to do things for myself as well. So, Casey actually told me the other day, like, I have to keep my hair appointment because I'm notorious for scheduling a hair appointment.
Good.
Like, and either canceling, like, I'll get it done and I'll be, like, really good about, like, scheduling it. And then I'll be like, can I just reschedule for a different day? And then...
I'm not feeling this today.
Yeah, I mean, I always feel bad, but, I mean, I don't do it the day of. I always give her, like, notice because it's not fair to her. But at the same time, I'm like, I hate feeling guilty for doing self-care, too. Yeah. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. I mean, even taking, like, simple tasks like taking a shower, I feel bad, like, if she's, like, you know what I mean? If I have to ask Casey, which I shouldn't feel bad. He's never given me a reason, but I think that's, like, from...
Mom guilt.
Yeah, like, hey, can you just keep an eye on her? Like, and I shouldn't because, I mean, he's her dad, but, I mean, my mom, even when I had her, is like, can I do anything for you? And I mean, there's tons of things that she could have done. She even offered to do the laundry, and I'm like, nah, you don't need to worry about, like, washing my dirty underwear. It's fine. But
just keep it on my never-ending to-do list.
It's just a lot. I feel like my to-do list has just gotten longer and longer, and with going back to work, it's kind of... I feel guilty because I want to go back, but you also have that, like, part where you're like, I also don't want to go back. Yeah. Like, not because I don't like my coworkers or my job, but at the end of the day, it's like, how can you leave this little face here?
Gosh, I get to see her at least once a week, and it's so hard just to leave when I, like, have to go home.
I just feel...
So I steal her as soon as I walk in the door.
That is okay. I mean, it gives me a nice little break. Although I will say, when I came home from the hospital, one of the things that was talked about is the best thing you can do for a mom when they come home is not do, like, just hold the baby for the mom. You know what I mean? Offer to allow
give her a break.
Yeah, not just give her a break from the baby, but, like, let her go take a nap if she wants, or take a shower, or... If she's, like, feeding the baby...
Drink a hot cup of coffee.
If she's, like, not just, like, holding the baby, but offer to, like, do the dishes. And I'm, like, I always try to think of that because I'm, like, I want to, take that with me. Because that's so true. I feel like everybody's go-to is to hold the baby for them. And sometimes it's not about that. It's, like...
The baby's fine in the bouncer. Like, you want to pick up a broom?
Yeah. Hey, I mean...
Hey, you know I will.
But
I can hold the baby while I sweep, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, you could put them in a wrapper. But I don't know. Going back to work, I'm kind of worried about how I'm going to handle it. So we'll see how that kind of pans out.
I think
in the next episode.
Go great.
I'll let you know. I mean, next episode I'll be back at work. Well, actually, no. It'll be the following episode since we're a week behind because we're actually recording this so Lindsay can enjoy her vacation. But
hey, I at least had some self-care to myself this week.
That's good. Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Well, I did a little manicure and pedicure, and then I don't know how, if it was a good thing or not, but I did waxing for the first time. So that was fun, but I have to say I love it, and it was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
By waxing, she's not doing eyebrows, people.
As long as, I think if you're a mom especially, like, you learn really quick to put your modesty out the window. So going for a Brazilian wax was definitely like, okay, hey chick I've never met, like, here's everything. But I have to say, where I went, they were awesome about it. Like, she instructed me, like, the security of the room, how once the door's closed, it never reopens until we leave. So it was, my modesty was out the window, but it was nice. And I have to say that for vacation, 10 out of 10. Would do again, probably will do again. But I don't know if I would claim it as self-care because I don't know how much I enjoyed it while it was happening.
Well, you also, like, did you say that you got your hair done?
No. I covered my grays.
Eh.
Box dye.
Hey, we each, like, I don't know how to dye my hair. The one time I did, it was an awful experience. I was young. I think I still in high school, but I've always paid to have it done. It's, like, one cost that I have to spend for myself because it makes me feel good, but also at the same time, I'm like, I always feel guilty.
Yes.
Again, it leads back to that, like, I hate, dropping, like, $100 on your kid for whatever their needs are, no problem.
Right.
Dropping $100 on yourself, like, for, self-care, or even sometimes for...
Right. I felt so guilty. I'm like, this is taking away from my vacation fund, or what if, like, I'm having these irrational thoughts. What if we run out of money and I, spent money on nails and a wax? And of course my husband's like, enjoy a day of, like, pampering. Like, go out, have fun. Like,
and we all deserve
you
that.
don't have the kids, enjoy. And I'm over here worried and guilt-ridden over it.
I get that because I was even
though.
thinking about, like, I would like to do X, Y, and Z for myself, and I don't. So, yes, in our next episode, we'll kind of discuss, I don't know. We'll find out.
Maybe it'll be a surprise for everyone.
Maybe.
Ooh. Maybe even for me, because I won't be here.